It has been obviously 2 weeks, so it's been a little while, but I'm excited to get into it, have a bunch of different cool inventory that we've been working diligently to prepare for everybody, and I'm just wondering what could be the best one to start our auction out with today. I'm feeling like it could be maybe if I go back here, there's some cool world coins, and we'll see. I'll start with one. Nice French 1800s. We've got a lot of, older world coins today is probably our biggest focus if I had to choose one. And we'll do a dollar start with an extension, but really a solid series type. It's often a bit more of a popular, and this one's K. I think that's the Bordeaux mint, a more popular type, in pretty nice shape. Silver has been increasing in price a lot. It's like nice for all the people who have bought silver from me, but it makes it a lot more challenging to source new material. Don't have any of those American Patriots, um, but again, really nice looking and fairly back where I paid for it. Just appealing to franc coin, and it may go for an affordable price to start. Congratulations, nice pickup. Um, Trying to think what else I might have early here, but a lot of great types that I'm excited for today. We've got some nice. This one looks like a Russian example, but it is great to see everybody here. And maybe we'll dollar start this one. This is a Russian of Fyodor. This is in the late 1600s. You can see charging along with Cyrillic lettering clearly engraved on the back. But this is actually a pretty large planchet. You have, again, the Russian charging on horse, um, attacking his enemies, presumably. And so always some interesting history there. We have some Ecuadorian silver as well. So just getting started, but it is so fantastic to have everybody joining us back here today. Let's start this one out at about $7, which would be less than $3 a coin for 1928 in pretty nice shape. These are actually quite solid looking. Condors, sure, I brought a couple of them. Quite nice shape. Philadelphia mint, but minted for Ecuador, fairly far away. And that sounds good to me, Eric Marr. We've got a little bit. Hope bills today. I don't think I have much Judean, but I can try to bring some for next show. On the silver front, let's see exactly what I have. Oh, I forgot to bring some not geld. That actually, or did I bring any not geld? I don't think so. I may try to grab some. Look through and tell me which Roman silver you want. Just gonna get some other coins. And I know we have some of the Condors that we can definitely run. Here's a nice Antoninus Pius. No, I think we have some of those in Texas, but not with me here. This is a very solid looking, and these we start at 55, but no sudden death. Very nice looking Antoninus Pius Roman silver denarius. With, you can see, a pretty appealing reverse as well. eBay's on vacation for a little bit, probably for another 2 weeks or so, maybe 3 weeks. Isaiah's setting some stuff up down there, so right now it's like basically been paused. But got to get that back up quickly and hopefully start uploading really regularly. And so in the red box, I think it's like an old metal of sorts. Let's see. Can't ID this one quickly. It's like an interesting, much older medieval European coin. I think, oh, EB, that reminds, it might be like some kind of Barcelonan coin. Let me just look this up on a quick Google search. EB copper coin. Didn't have time again to, maybe it's a Spanish coin. If you guys know what it is, I'd be curious. because I feel like at one point I had seen one of these, but like again, it's got this big EB, then some kind of a crest on the other side. Um, Very nice old world coin, and I didn't have it off the top of my head, so I didn't want to say get it wrong basically, but we have some sweet coins in this mix. Josh Van, welcome to Treasure Town. Thanks for your purchase. Um, this is a Gigot. Actually, I may hold this one, but right here we have. This is actually a very nice looking Belgian type, Belgian States Liard from about 1650 to 1690. Josh Van said your payment didn't go through there. I may re-auction that if it doesn't go through again. I just want to make sure that people get the coins they're most excited about, obviously. Um, and so, what's going on, Vault and Valor? Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. And that one will go to Smallwood Johnson. Congratulations. We've also got a couple of these duets. And then we have to get the Condors. So we'll do a Condor after this one. This is a beautiful Zealand Mint duet. It's really Kingdom of Mac. Oh yes, good to see you as well. Beautiful looking 1747 high eye appeal. Netherlands East Indies duet. Like fantastic shape on this example. Has some really pleasing minor incrustation and just like a really nice chocolatey look to it. But yeah, Kingdom of Macedon. I don't think I brought any today. I have some, probably a little bit more on the world side, though we do have a good mix of ancients as well. Just have been selling a couple of those in wholesale channels and ready to buy it. We can do, this is a very nice, let's see what we can pull for. This is like a barbarous imitation, but is Roman imperial. Antonianus, these are probably like a $12 start or so. Very, very nice Tetricus, super clear beard, and but it's not like a clear official strike. There were a lot of tribes that might have struck them unofficially or away from some of the action. And surprised at that one. Maybe we just dollar start this one. We'll see where it lands. I'm sure that'll get some, attract some action. The previous slab I ran, Roman Republic. I don't think I have tons of Roman Republican. I think what I do have, and obviously currently well back of where I paid on it, I have a little bit of Roman Republican slabs. All right, that one's gonna go for not quite 12 is more like the start price near break even. Let's see what I've got. We have a Commodus. Oh yeah, I think this one was Roman Imperial. The Barbarous Radiates, so basically it has to be Tetricus. If it's TET, then it's based on the beard shape. If there's no beard and it's Tetricus the second, then it's either going to be Victorinus or posthumous like imitation, or not imitation, but like rulers that struck in the name of posthumous. Here's a nice Commodus denarius in an NGC slab. Very solid. We have maybe a handful of Roman Republican coins that are slabbed, but I think that maybe it's like one of them. It's a VG coin. That one's going to go to Krabby Coins. Commodus is the ruler after Marcus Aurelius. This one has a very nice seated reverse on there. Commodus is after Marcus Aurelius. This one's cool. It has a seated, I think it's like, can't tell if it's like the Fort Red or exactly who is seated down there, but it has the bottom inscription and then a very clear portrait of a right-facing bust of Commodus on the obverse of it. And so these are always pretty fantastic. Ancient Spain, yeah, that sounds good. Let me pull the ancient Spanish one. Let me snag it soon. I'm gonna keep running. Commodus is always just very popular. This one has particularly nice eye appeal, as you can see. looks similar, but it says M. Antoninus because he's from the Antonines. He's the son of Marcus Aurelius, and then but you can see Commodus Commodus Augustus, and then back here it looks like there's a modium on the bottom. I can't tell if that's like a little snake, but it's referencing maybe the third time he was or second time he was consul. And let me snag one of the Carthago Nova coins. Those are a little more expensive, I would say, but certainly open to running them. We also have a nice Roman Republican denarius, nice win for Krabby. Let's do, just because that was in the order it was asked for, and now I'm realizing that I forgot the Condor, so maybe a Condor will come up not long from now. This one would be an $80 start. This is 2nd century BC, a VG Roman Republican Blasio denarius. And I could definitely see this one bidding up. It looks like, I forget which exact 3 figures are on the reverse there, but at $80, I think I'll make like maybe $2 or $3 on it. I think it's not super easy to find, 2nd century BC, and that one will go to Krabby. And then these Carthago Nova coins are not cheap. This is struck under Augustus. It has a nice 4-style temple, a 4-pillar temple, and then it looks like either some oxen or something like that. I start for $59, but I really find it difficult to get these ancient Spanish coins in, so I was very pleased, and this one is going to be off to the races. Let me find the Republic of Venice. I think I see only a handful of them available today. I'd promised the Condor token, so I will do a Condor token before, just so that I'm being straight on with everybody, and then we'll come back and do a little bit more of our graded inventory. We've got some really fantastic examples across the board, and there's one other ancient Spanish coin, but yeah, really, really nice, beautiful ancient type here of Spanish Rome, or Roman Spain, I should say. The other coin is like probably even a 99 start. It's a beautiful coin of Tiberius Carthago Nova. Let me try the let's see. We've got this AB 8705-156. This would be like a $40 start. Very pretty coins. And so right here we have the last of the Commodus denarii. Oh, the Condors. Oh my gosh. Let me grab a Condor token or two for us. I think that would be fantastic. Nice one for Krabby. And let me just text something. So let me find this one is just an absolutely beautiful. I'm gonna do a dollar start. And sorry for the slow. I was just responding to something, but this is like a much more expensive Condor token that I had purchased, Pro Rege et Patria. I love how there's like this nice undertone of toning. Um, it's really a beautiful example. Um, and it references the Queen's rays. Mm. And that one will go to Gabe. Beautiful coin. Mm. And so let's see what other ones. We do have an Aurelius denarius, which these are often quite popular. I've been starting them for about $75. Um, and as you can see, nice bearded. And yeah, let me grab the copper lepton. I'd love to offer that coin to you. Mm. And you can see here M. Aurel. Very appealing coin. Right here we have an 1862 copper lepton. Why don't we do for a dollar start, just for fun? Again, this is from a period where the British would have owned these islands, which are they then gifted to the Greeks. 1862, but you have a beautiful, it's almost like a griffin looking item. SWN, I don't do that just because it's a little too complicated for me. And since I just do this kind of part time for fun, I've tried it for a couple of people, and there's always been not like huge issues, but there's just been like things that are tough about it, if that makes sense, where either, it's not going to be, it's a nice favor to do for somebody, but it's not going to like go crazy well, if that makes sense. But then there's the possibility that people will like get upset if something wrong happens or if it takes too long. And so I always suggest that people just sign up and submit on their own. No Yuan Dynasty China. This is a cool Vespasian denarius. He came in and conquered the Judean revolt in about 69 AD. It was over by 70 AD. They had revolted against a period of Roman procuratorship, is what it's called. This is a more well-known reverse type. It's the Tripo reverse type. There's also, this is a nice looking Aurelius denarius. And so, let's see, 75. Hmm. Is the start on this? Congrats to Krabby Coins. Trying to think, do we have any other Marcus Aurelius? I think I have two other Marcus Aurelius in today's sale. So let me try and find them. This one, it looks like the genius. I'm not sure exactly who's on the reverse. Right here is M. Antoninus. It's very clearly Marcus Aurelius. Really scarce graded coin. I mean, I think we have some. I have a key date dime from Canada. That might be something that's scarce that I have. I'm not exactly sure, definitions wise. That one will go to Krabby Coin. And then last but not least, we have this posthumous. This is really cool. It says Consecratio on the reverse. I'm not going to do it for any different price, but it has this eagle on the back of it, which is really neat. Netherlands graded coin, really rare and scarce. I'm not sure that I have really rare and scarce. Actually, I don't know how scarce it is. I have a 1793 Netherlands golden. I would probably start it for about $85. PCGS XF detail. I don't harshly cleaned. But again, let me show that reverse there. Beautiful eagle on. I can't tell if that's like a casket but I think that like the winged eagle, it's almost like he's died and then moved on in deified eagle flying above the skies form. Again, here we have this harshly cleaned XF detail Dutch golden from the Netherlands. I think it's a nice looking coin, 1793. Again, larger silver piece. And we see the Dutch crest on the reverse, but Condor, Cato denarius, sure, let me, something better than this? Probably don't have it, unfortunately. I wish I did, but I don't want to pretend I've got something that I don't, so yeah, let me see if we can pull another Condor quickly. 8712. Let's see. $17.92 Warwickshire Condor token, beautiful stork and cornucopia. Sunken treasure. I've only got a couple of those shipwreck items. They'd probably be about 109 starts. They're 2 reals of the El Cazador shipwreck in pretty nice condition. And let me pull that Cato denarius for us. Probably be about a 69 start or so. It's a bit worn. This one has pretty good eye appeal, I would definitely say. Thanks. Have a good one, Krabby Coins. I didn't even see you, but yeah, have a great day. I feel bad that I missed your note. That's very kind of you. Have some good family time as well. Let's see. We've got that one. Then we can try this Cato denarius. There's also some fantastic Jetons that I'm excited to bring in. Yeah, we've got a banker's mark on there. $69 start. This one would have been 2nd century. Yeah, of course, Armwell. Let me find the Anjou coins. But here is you can see the Cato clearly. Nice portrait on the front. And I think not crazy expensive. So again, not like super, it's not like it costs no money, but I think a pretty affordable example. And not surprised to see it bidding up a bit. A lot of popularity among Roman Republic series. That'll go to Michael Cornbread. And then these are Folk deniers. These I've been starting around 27 bucks. They've been bidding up a little bit, but not crazy, I would say. None have ever gone into the 40s, basically. Some in the 30s, some, I've often started them for 29. Always try to get at a price where things can bid up a little bit, though. And then there's the other one that we have that's similar is going to be, and maybe, it looks like there's one other, but we have this one is a little tougher to find, a 29 start. This is French States of Saint-Martin de Tours. Very nice, actually, detail in this example. Medieval type. So super, super nice item. That one will go to Armwill. I remember, Armwill, you bought the original the rupees. I brought a couple more of the rupees here in case somebody else wants it. Here's the other Anjou French states example. Um, you can see that clear cross. These are always interesting items. So let's see what we have here. Some of these bid up to in the 70s last auction. We sold, I think we sold 17 of these in the last sale. These are beautiful arcot. I've been getting a lot more into Indian coins. I'll start at Premier 55. They're so nice looking. These are actually French India. Thank you so much, Armwell. French Indian rupees. But again, it was crazy. It sold. I had to refill multiple times. I've never sold 17 in the same coin. They're just pretty challenging to find, given that this is like the French occupation of India, and so that's a much smaller, um, smaller subset, if that makes sense. Here's another example, just while we're on them. I need to do a little more research, but the French withdrew from India far earlier, I believe, than the British give up dominion over India in 1947, whereas when did the French leave India? I'm going to just put it in Google. The French leave India. That was going to go for 55 as well. Oh, seated in 1954, Pondicherry, Yana Mahe Karikal. So I guess it was spurred on, but I don't think that they had the kind of legacy of striking coinage in the same way. Super, super nice looking items. And it was fun to have purchased a small group. A little while back, and then introduced them here. So they're very fun and appealing items. After this, I'm trying to think where we can pivot to. We have a couple nice Dutch Goldens. That was really nice looking. And just fantastic calligraphy and a rarer type. Wish that I had more of these in, but I'm really trying to make some efforts to buy some cool Indian examples of different sorts. Let's try some of the Jetons as well. These are like 49 starts, beautiful stock change or agents of change. I think it's like Monniers of Lyon. I got a nice mix of Jetons in today that I obviously very much looking forward to offering. But I love the beauty that's displayed on a lot of these items. And yeah, they're really fantastic. So just beautiful. Tried to really vary the different types. There's so many different cool Jetons that I think, I don't know, are just obviously really fun to have and offer to people. And so I've been trying to expand. Like, this is an earlier dated one. It's a 1720. You can see that I don't think any silver guns, but you can see it's a really youthful portrait of Louis, and then it has in Roman numerals 1720 Tresor Royale, and it shows a reclining. I'm not sure if it's river god, but it looks like there's a river in the back, and it is the classic like Nilos river god type. But again, kind of baby portrait for Louis XV there. Which is fascinating. And you can really trace how he looks different over time on the different coins that he struck. So, yeah, just a beautiful example there of the king. We then have a beehive type, which these I've always found to be quite popular with people. This is about 15 years later, so you can really see ancient gold. I don't have too much of. I have a little bit of Indian gold, if that's interesting. But yeah, you can see there's this nice beehive on the reverse. I'm not exactly sure, but let's see what the Latin lettering says. Principis aerarium populi. Sounds good. Let me think it's in 93 somewhere. I'm going to do a couple more of the French Jetons. And I may do this, earlier again, 1940. We're going to go sudden death on this and see. This is a legal themed du roi et notaire. And again, a slightly younger view for the king. Oh, there's some neat. The Jetons, I always like forget what I inventoried, and it's so fun to see all the different designs. Nice win for SWN. This one it's across his reign. We don't have a specific date, though I would put it a little towards the back just because it's a more youthful portrait by Duvivier, and it references Civitas Populus que Rothomagensis. I'm not exactly sure, but you see like a lamb, and very fun view there. We've got Tresor Royale. Oh, this is kind of a cool look. Emer Sabilis Undis, 1742. I'm not sure exactly. Is that like the waves and they're carrying away a building, or if it's, is it Noah's Ark maybe? I'm not sure exactly what's being pictured there. But certainly an earlier one. Oh, surprised that one didn't jump on the bids. I think there's just so many fascinating Jetons. And then this one looks like a similar reclining but different, but like reclining older bearded figure. So has some interesting as well, like die cracks and die chips that make its way through to the date. Deset Esse Paranem. And then you have Louis the 15th with the Duvivier down there. Clearly outlined. So those ones are cool. Let's try some of the Indian gold. These are like 49 starts. They're not the most common types of phantoms. I've had, more repeatable types. This is Krishna Raja Wodayar. 49, no sudden death on these. Low, it's not 100% gold. I'm not sure what the fineness is, but you can see a stylized figure there with big pecs staring right at us, and then the eye and nose up top. Minted in the 1800s. It's really not a type that I've come across in any kind of large magnitude, so and then we also have the other one that I have seems pretty cool, kind of substantial look to it. And so this one is under Balarama Varma the First, a nice gold phantom. Robin is going to start on it, but again, I haven't really seen this design as much. I'm more familiar with some of like the Mysore ones, and so I was excited to get this in a collection that I'd purchased. It says that's your first purchase for me. Congratulations. Here, this one is like a bunch of bees or flies, a little bit unclear. Queen of bees and a swarm. That's fun. No sudden death, because I think people often like this type. A little bit of faint toning as well. There you see the sun and a queen bee with secrétaire du roi. Ducem regemque secundur is the Latin inscription featured above. That one will go to C-Ven2. There's also some nice crown size silver. 1843 Lille mint. These would be like 32 starts. I can't replace them near 32 with the way silver has gone up and the fact that I pay 10% on importation. ESC 1792. I'm not sure. I don't think so. What is that? An Escalin. I thought Escalins were done at that point. But very nice. And now, less surprised to see there being a couple of additional bids. Louis Philippe was the last French king. There's obviously Emperor Louis Napoleon III. ECS like écus maybe. I don't want to misinterpret your request there. Let me check. I think I might have like one in my inventory. Um, this one's in 1839, so a couple years prior. Let's see what I have in terms of écu. I think one of the really neat types that I was able to bring they're from a French um, discovery from the early 1980s. It's the Saint Thibault hoard. Um, Here we've got Brandon Farr, nice win. Boardwalk Numismatics, good to see you. I was thinking of giving you a call, Justin. I'd love to, and maybe it's Ellery or JJ or some other friendly folks, but Boardwalk is a fantastic world-focused coin dealer. Make sure to follow them. They're based out of Connecticut. They have an awesome shop and a great presence at shows around the world. So, Justin, thanks for popping in, and I do owe you a call. I'm actually, I'd love to buy some of your inventory and see, but maybe it's not purchasable, but maybe it is for me. So trying to figure, I've been shifting a little bit more towards some of the world, I would say, over some of the ancients, just trying to figure out, you know, different markets, and maybe thinking about some of the U.S. We can do a couple. That sounds good to me. I'll actually note that down. Maybe I'll aim to give a call, take advantage of my California home base, and catch you in Eastern Time AM early next week. And if you don't pick up my call, I will not be offended. Um, so thanks so much, and excited to chat. Well. Anyways, if you haven't already, make sure to go and follow and they've got some good coins. They have a lot of coins that I don't have, unfortunately. But I think the good news is that the coin world is more of everybody on the same team than people doing too much competition. At least that's what I've noticed. So can definitely build your collection a bunch with the folks over at Boardwalk. And so here we've got a 2 Sucres coin. These sometimes they have like these little X's in the corner, and so I just want to be careful about them. It doesn't have it on this one, but they're solid silver coin. Looks like a little bit of cleaning, but I think that it'll bid up pretty nicely. This one would have been minted in Philadelphia a while back, 1928, and so we were striking coins for everybody all around the world. And so this was certainly an example, but that one is going to go to Holex Collections. Thank you so much. I was just telling somebody I need to make a little more content. I've been going too slow. Here you can see that there is a little X scratched into the coin, unfortunately, right there. But again, this I forget exactly which ruler is commemorated on the front of it. Let's see though what we have in terms of. We were selling up some of the interesting world crowns that have a bit of numismatic premium, not crazy though. So I'm able to offer them relatively cheap, and they've been, bidding up. At least they have recently. We have some nice Danish coins as well, but again, 1844. This one's minted in Lille in France. Very fun type. And let me try to go find some of those Danish coins. I got a nice mix basically. Ooh, with some fun toning as well. Nice win. Let's see where this one would go. I'm just gonna check how much silver there is in this guy, because with the new prices, new silver price going way up, I'm like, what do these actually melt for? It's been a big question I've been asking. This one currently goes for $15.91, so I'll start it for $1 back of melt, or 91 cents back of melt. It's got some very fun toning, and I could see it being popular. It shows the wedding of Anne Marie. Again, fun to have it with the nice toning. And let's see what we have right here. This one looks pretty similar. I think it is pretty similar. It has a different toned look to it. We'll start it for 17. I probably do at least twice a month, but often 3 or 4 times a month. And Hunter Hag, yeah, I'd be happy to do a denarius. We mostly have graded ones for a 55 start. So that's probably the most likely or in inventory that I have. Yokosho going to win that one. And then it says that's your first purchase. Welcome to Treasure Town. And then this one is a different anniversary from Denmark 4 years prior, 25th anniversary from 1935 of King Frederick IX and King Dronning Ingrid from Denmark. So super sweet. Let's and we've got a bunch more great Danish coins to go through later today. Nice win for Big Pappy. There's also, okay, what was we have this Trajan denarius. I guess maybe it wasn't uploaded. Let me see if we have this Hadrian denarius here. This one we do have, and we'll start for 55 bucks. It is, the reverse is going to be of Pietas. Yeah, quite a nice looking coin, and they're always pretty highly desired, so not surprised to see it quickly, attract a bunch of bids. Tiffany Ancient's currently leading, but nice eye appeal on the coin. And then we've also got this Antoninus Pius example as well with us, so we can offer that one. Again, Antoninus Pius, he was one of the 5 good emperors. He came after Hadrian reigned for about 23 years. On the back, what does that say? Pot, then XXI, so probably referencing 21 years of something, but I'm not exactly sure. A little bit of kind of some surface, I guess, chipping that you can observe, but I think that's actually a pretty nice eye appeal example. So, yeah, thank you so much again, Jeremy Snyder. Very kind of you. And then I'm trying to think if we have other. We do have some nice with grades. Double denarii. I don't think that they're crazy, and they're larger planchets as well. Beautiful Gordian Laetitia reverse would just be $4 more for a nice looking, and I could see this one bidding up a fair amount. Very nice looking double denarius Antonianus. Basically, there was some devaluation of the currency where they said that they would replace the denarii with a 2 denarii coin. Of course, when they actually make them, they don't put in quite as much silver content, and so it's like maybe a 1.5 denarius, and then from there they end up devaluing that further. So it really shows the inflation that was going on at that time. This one's probably like a 90 start. It's even a little sharper. Same grade of Gordian, but it has a beautiful Providentia reverse that I think has fantastic detail. And so, just a big fan of the coin and its appearance overall. Super nice. We do have 2 of them that are in XF condition. That might be, maybe in the low, like a 99 situation. So maybe I'll just offer one of them. But, again, super nice coins. And then we might pivot back to some of the world stuff after this. But this one is even a higher tier grade XF. So super pretty. Again, mid 200s. There's a ton of turnover in the Roman Empire at this stage. And so there's a lot of chaos, I guess, associated with it. But the coin is beautiful, without a doubt. And yeah, there we go. Let's go back and run, though. There was a bunch of interest in the Danish types. This one prior had bid up. We won't start it for any more. About $1 over melt. And we have a 1960 silver wedding anniversary, 25th anniversary there. And super nice coin. Again, let me know. Look through what I uploaded in terms of my inventory, and see what might be there for you. So, I'd love to get you the coins that you might be after. Mexican and Spanish Mexican stuff is something that I'm really actively trying to source more of. This one looks like it's the last of this type. We'll sudden death it. I don't have tons of it, but actually, yeah, it's not so much Mexican; it's more Spanish that I would have. That's kind of up that alley. Byzantine. I don't think I brought any Byzantine today. Uh, in my shop, which did I? Uh, Funfmark. I might have a couple of those, and congrats. HID says that your payment did not go through there. So I'm not sure what would have happened there. I may bring that to re-auction. Oh, 2 reals. Yes, let me run one of those next. We'll dollar start this. This is a nice coin. Beautiful 1700s Dutch example of a Duet minted in Zealand. Just super high IPL. I think it'll bid up quite nicely. And let me get the Shipwreck Alcazador. You know, it's kind of looking right at me. So it's kind of funny that I said I didn't have any of it. Obviously, I'm highly encouraged to offer when I can. 109. These are all nice. I think this is actually 1778, not 1779. But it is, you know, remarkably nice detail for what it is. I've seen a lot of these that are in much worse shape. It's chipped, but again, it was sitting at the bottom of the ocean floor, and it's great that we have effectively most of the portrait intact, a really clear date. And yeah, again, these were shipwrecked in 1783 was the date that these were shipwrecked. And so it was fantastic that, I was able to get some that not only, we know when it was shipwrecked, but we also know the date of the coin. Most of the coins, this one's probably the back is not as nice, but the obverse is like fantastic looking. This is a 1781 example with great detail again, and most of these, the date isn't even on there. So I got access to some of these. At 109, I'm making about, let me think, approximately like $20, but generally I'll have my margins are a little lower than that, but on those they're so nice and they're the nicest of a group that I was, that's where I'm gonna try to protect and charge $20, make that 20%. Here is a Hungarian dinar of the medieval times, 1567. No shipwreck, that's better condition at EDS. I can try to go out and find some that would be very fun. But yeah, beautiful 1567 Maximilian II denier, silver Hungarian kind of medieval times. Looks like we have two more of the duets. And were you able to get the duets, Alex? Awesome. Good. There's probably a lot of carnage on the flips. But yeah, beautiful, beautiful condition duet right here. Again, 1749, just fantastic looking. Really upper tier eye appeal. Not, there's a lot of much more worn examples out there. Condor token sounds good. I'd be happy to do that. We have one more of these duet today. And then we're done with them, and we've got some. All of them have been different dates, but let me try to go find a Condor token for us. Apache sounds good. Let me get that after we do Condor token. This one is like a farthing example. It's a earlier, so it's from the 1600s in England, right around the time that we weren't allowed to strike coins in America. 1657 is going to be the date there, and you can see a very clear castle on that reverse. Super nice. And again, while I'm looking around, I'm going to pull that. Oh, that's a nice one. It's going to be a bit more expensive just as a flagging that Sapachi. And then here's the other one. This one is not as nice on the one side, but the date shines through really clearly. So again, very worn castle, but then really clear date, 1657. Berkshire Newbury, BN, easily abbreviated for us to see there. And then 87, let's see, 87, 14, we've got a cool Condor as well. And so this one probably starts around 19. It's a really clear Deus Nobis Haec Otia Fecit, Liverpool halfpenny. It's quite nice. And so it looks like there's been 2 coins that unfortunately went unpaid. I'm going to try to auction both of them quickly here. This would be WX010404. This is going to be coins in money, coins in bullion. Shipping profile is going to be a normal coin, and the product type is non-US coins. And then the other one I've got was really cool. It sold for like $9, but it was like this unable to ID. It was interesting. But let me just make sure that both of those are back. And then that was like maybe one of the first coins that we tried this morning. This was the coin. We'll dollar start it, and then we'll do. Did you miss the shipwreck? I offered 2 of them. One of them sold. Again, I'm not exactly sure what coin this is, but it's pretty cool. And then we'll do the other Danish one that didn't go. We have some great 5 copex. Just a nice mix across the board. Right here, this one sold for 19 the last time we tried it. Condor tokens and half pennies. I have a handful of them left, but let's do that nice imperial. This one is probably like a 99 start, and I think it could go higher, but who knows? This next Roman Republican, I'll be leaving on the bidding options. A great denarius from a long time ago. No sudden death. Maybe we'll do 30 seconds just because it might bid up. I think it's quite, not tons of graded stuff. A lot of it's going to be Roman Empire graded coins. Beautiful. Antestius Gradulus, silver denarius. Very, very pretty. I don't have any Byzantine today, unfortunately. I don't think I brought any. Doing a little bit more world coins. I feel like it's just been easier for me to buy some of the world stuff recently. But we do have a couple of ancients. We could do a little ancients spree if people were feeling it. We have some very interesting types. Let's see, AD 03068. Let's see, Big Time You Betcha would be open to it. This is super crazy. It's a really barbaric imitation of a Tetricus coin. Tetricus would have been one of a couple of rulers in a Gallic, like French rebellion that broke away from the Roman Empire in the 260s. He then would have been in the 270s, like 271 to 274 or so. There were a couple of other people in there. It was like Victorinus. Postumus really led the rebellion and managed it for like 9 years. He was the most stable of the bunch. There was a lot of craziness, though. This one looks a little different, and there were a lot of like local tribes that would have struck imitation examples. So beautiful type right there. Ooh, and we have a coin that I don't think is an imitation example. I think is going to be crazy nice, crazy good outcome here. We'll do a dollar start with no sudden death. And Antoninianus. Beautiful. Such a good appearance, and from my perspective. And it looks like Pax is on the reverse. Pax Augustus. Fantastic eye appeal. And you're asking about AC 67 1110. That one's a nice coin. It's a little more worn. It's probably like a 79 start. Let me see if I can pull. And we also have some older French coins that I had referenced a little bit, but yeah, beautiful Romano-Gallic Empire Antonianus. Congratulations. And then right here we have a 79 start. Again, could see this one bidding up pretty nicely. I think it's Publius Crepusius. Very clear obverse. A couple of interesting banker's marks, making sure that it's not a, that's good silver. And then you can see the L Crepus and a prancing horse with a rider. So that one maybe we'll wait a little bit. But we have, I'm surprised this one has a really nice reverse from a French hoard in the 1980s, early 1980s. I think it's a really solid, example. A little bit of discoloration, but 1726, very long time ago. D mint mark, and a half écu. Sit nom and domini, and it's nice. I'm going to say if this is a slightly better example. We have a couple of other ones. I paid in the lower 40s, and so would not be shocked for those to be, challenging to. We could run another example if people wanted. We also have some nice Japanese coins. Dollar start, sudden death. We can do some of the no staters today. SWN. No staters today. We have a nice Phoenix. This is a bit clean, but it's a silver 1920s as Japan is gearing up and heading into actually the World War era. Graded Roman. Sure, Frank Hercules. I should have some as well. So let me just take a little time to pull it, and we'll do a couple. Well, let's do one more of these. Let me find the Hercules type French francs. Wonderful. I also have a couple of Morgan silver dollars that are in really nice shape. So that one will go to Yokosho. And then I had, this one's actually nice. So the Japanese hosted the Olympics. This would have been a circulating commemorative from that time in 60% silver. Very pretty. Tokyo references that Tokyo 39th year of the Showa. Very pretty coin. And that one will go to Brandon. And then right here we have, similar. This one has a little bit of faint toning on it, which is quite nice. How many more Japanese coins did I bring? I just want to check. It looks like maybe 6 of them. We'll come back. We'll do a couple of them intermittently here. But we have one more that I just want to run right now, which is this interesting. It's like a Phoenix Sakura cartouche. This is a little earlier, 1958. Then we'll do a French, a Hercules French type. But 100 yen, again, with that Phoenix on the front of it. Always a fun and interesting example. So that one will go to Yokosho. These start probably more towards like 34 or so, and likely to bid up. We'll do no sudden death on them. 1873, excuse me, Parisian mint. And they reference the first time they had this Hercules obverse was when they overthrew the French king. I think that would have been King Louis the 16th in 1792-93 era. That one will go to SWN coins. And then we also have this one right here, 34 start. And 1873 Hercules 5 franc. We also have some of the earlier ones. There's some Leopold. There's a lot of great crown size silver that we brought today. Again, we have some Morgans. We even have some Panamanian Balboas. And is there still interest in the graded? Also, we have the 2 Shipwreck Mexican coins starting at 109. So there's just a couple of really interesting different cool items out there to consider here. A little bit of a rim bump on the back of this one, but it's at 1845, so even a little bit earlier. King Louis Philippe, um, Parisian mint crown, and basically not surprised to see it go at all. Yeah, let me show the shipwrecks then. And then let's see, right here we have an El Cazador, 2 reals, 109 start. 1774. It's a little tougher to get these dated, especially the earlier dated ones. The back is going to be fairly worn, but again, this was sunk to the bottom of the sea in 1783, and so definitely a famous shipwreck, well-known type. There was a lot of silver recovered from it, and that sounds great, Horace. Nice win. If people want the other one, but let me then get the request for Horace. We'll do a couple more great Danish silver coins. WX 0103. Sorcerer Stan currently leading. Again, worn back, but just fantastic condition on the obverse. No problem, Ritz Cracker. I think I sold 2 of them. I may have a couple more. Nice one for Sorcerer Stan there. Let me check, and we can do this for $1 start. This one I think will bid up. It's 1923, a little bit of a tougher to find Danish commemorative. This is King Christian X, great name, and Queen Alexandrine, and a fantastic silver coin here. I think with a lot of appeal across the board from a collecting perspective. 19, I think, very affordable. If that's where it ends up, I'm not surprised to see that continues to bid higher. A little bit of a tougher to find earlier commemorative type. Nice European coin. So Roman silver graded. I'll do a couple of Roman silver examples next. They're all 55 starts at least. I'm first going to do this one. Congrats to Horace. This one would be like a 20 start with sudden death on, just to keep it moving. We're going to find a Vespasian denarius next. But yeah, 1930, King Christian X, King's birthday, 2 kroner. LC 05697. That one will go to Gabe. We got to get some of those Condors, I know. If you can give me specific Condors that you want, you can tell me what's underneath. AG coin is going to start on this one. It's got the TRIPOT. It's like Tribuna Potesta, reverse type there. Vespasian, earlier ruler, obviously. An interesting one at that. Oh, we have a cool, I call them birthday cake denarii, but we have an interesting type next as well. This one is going to be Antoninus Pius. We're definitely running low on some of the ancient stuff, so just as a heads up. But a nice Antoninus Pius, but it's posthumous and it has consecratio. It has a tall altar that I always think, again, looks like a birthday cake. It's not. It's not a birthday cake. It's an altar, but pretty fun. And thank you so much, Yukosho. I think it's a skill that I've worked hard to make sure I have down. Basically, funeral pyre. That I think you might have corrected me, and you were correct. I'm almost positive that it is a pyre. There's also some interesting different. This one's actually Lucius Verus. We can run that one soon if people are still interested in it. Let's do this one though. We'll go even lower on our start, and this one actually is nice looking. I should not have done sudden death on it. 1930, super nice luster. King Christian, raw silver Roman. I think I have a little. I don't even think I have any today. I don't have any in stock. I thought I did, but I don't think so. Raw piece. I'm not positive. Not that I'm not positive. I don't think I brought any. This one's a 1958 Princess's birthday example, but we do have a couple of Morgans that I wanted to try at 49 bucks. They're in pretty nice shape, I would say. 1890. Let's see. WX 47, 146, I guess. raw silver Roman though. Let me just make sure I don't have it. Actually, I do have a couple of raw silver Roman. Let me try one not too long from now. Nice one for Brandon Farr on that coin. These are just like very nice IPL 47 start, no sudden death. Um, 1890 Morgan silver dollar, quite flashy. Um, IPL the porcelain not geld I did, but I haven't inventoried it yet. I was very disappointed that I didn't get the chance to inventory. Um, so let me try. That's very kind of you. Uh, I think we do actually. I want to make sure that it's a seamless auction experience for everybody, and I work hard obviously to make that happen. So it's nice of you to notice it, and um, it's not something that I can guarantee every time. Pre 1800, I'm going to do a couple Morgans just because we have a great group of them in. That I was really excited to find. A couple different levels of toning, levels of flashiness, but went down to a dealer and picked these up, and I was very excited to get them in. So this one is going to be 1889. This one similar. Maybe we'll do even a little cheaper. Has some toning on there, and so pleasing coin again. Trying to do a little bit more with US, just because I feel like it can be a lot to do. Purchasing coins from overseas and figuring out, the world coins can be a little more complicated. And so, I'm trying to do like a good mix, like still keep doing the world, but I'm definitely focusing on, okay, what about if I did more banknotes or if I did, you know, all different types of stuff like that. So, um, very nice. Penny plancha errors, not with me today, and not with me. I think we might have some from our Texas operation. Um, so that's just kind of the status update on that one. This one is 1881S. Probably got to start these for 49, and we might sudden death them just so that we can keep the momentum going. But also has a little bit of toning on the front, and then nice toning on the reverse. A little more of like gray toning, so it's always interesting how they all, you know, come through. I think there's maybe 3 other Morgans that I have today, just as a mini warning. That one's gonna go to Smallwood. This one looks really flashy. I could see it bidding up a good bit. Maybe we even leave sudden death off. And then I'm just trying to like line up what we would have ahead. I think there's a lot of world that we'll focus on. That's very kind, Big Pappy. Um, oh no, HID. I think I sold that coin to somebody else. I thought that after 5. Let me figure out how to deal with that then. I may have to go in and cancel Danish cancel. Let me figure out what I need to do there, but um, that's funny. Nice win for yellow coin, and I think we've got 2 more of these kind of slider looking. But honestly, these are like nice unks. And yellow coin says your payment did not go through either there. This one is good looking. No US half cents for the time being. Super flashy in this example. Morgan dollar 18 or 1900 O. WX0106 or 04. Did I sell it to 2 people? I guess is the question. I think I'm gonna get to HID just because Big Pappy. I'm gonna cancel one coin that you bought. Somebody else had purchased it. I've never seen it where somebody's been able to get their payment in after a long time. And I have some similar ones, but it's a new buyer who just bought from me for the first time. So I'm going to go ahead and actually, no, it wasn't Big Pappy. Who won it? It was Brandon Farr. I think hopefully it's not, you'll get the refund and hopefully can direct it towards a different purchase. But given that's a new buyer, I'm just going to cancel that just as a heads up. I'm selling it in this case to the lower dollar buyer. The other purchaser had spent $1 less on it, but again, they're new to Whatnot, new to Treasure Town, and I sold a coin for them, and I'm very thankful that they made that extra effort to go pay for it. So, just going to get that to them. Last of these Morgans, sounds good. Yellow coin. Yeah, last of these Morgans, 1898. Then we'll do a Condor. Then we'll do some Roman. And we'll go from there. 87.15. Congrats to Smallwood. I'll make $1 on that one. About, you have to pay different based on the condition. Here's a Yarmouth and West Absalon Condor token from 1792. Has a nice image of a ship on the front of it. Then we'll do a Lucius Verus Denarius NGC no grade. Horace, let me know what you wanted to see. I'm gonna figure it out and get the coins for you basically immediately. So this one's a little tougher to find. We'll start it for 65. No sudden death. Lucius Verus. Denarius, that's going to be alongside Marcus Aurelius for the first 8 or so years of their joint reign. It references Imperator Verus, Verus, Augustus. At 65, I think would be highly appealing. Maybe that will be where this one lands. Congratulations, Tiffany Ancients. Great paying attention on that one to scoop what I think is a very appealing offer there. We've got a couple other. Here's a Belgian Leopold. Leopold 5 franc coin. And then let's see what else. This one, again, large crown size silver from the mid 1800s. And that one will land at just 32. Nice win. Let's see where this one goes. 32 start as well. 1868. And then it does look like I do have a raw Roman silver coin. This one is probably like a 44 start. This is a Philip the Arab silver Antoninianus. Philippus Augustus. And very high relief. Nice portrait of Aegitas on the reverse there. Holding a cornucopia and the scales of justice in the other hand. And will not bid higher. That's a nice pickup, I would say. Absolutely. May try this one. Again, a 1500 silver denier with the portrait of Christ being held by the Virgin Mary on the one side. 1567 Maximilian denier. This one would have been minted in modern day Slovakia in the Kremnica mint. I've always thought that was a really cool design. Bunch of different dates too. I mean, I don't know like the rare dates. I think it would be tough to put together a full collection, though. Somebody might do it. But these are always fascinating, and there are a lot of different rulers. There's Rudolph, and to be quite frank, I forget a lot of them. Sounds good, Horace. Let me get that after. This one's going to be a little later, 1572. I might shift these to a sudden death format just because I want to make sure that I get to some of the other types as well. But there's the Virgin Mary. Yeah, I can show it. I haven't showed it yet, but I can show it in a little bit. I also want to pull out the 06 0204, this 8 shilling coin. I'm going to tell you, I just need to triangulate on exactly what I can let it go for. And then we'll do one more. This is 1573, so a year later. That one's actually really, really quite solid looking. Hercules, oh man, so I sold my 2 Hercules. Let me see if I have any others. I know that it's like the crown type that I have the least of in stock, so we may be out of luck here, which would be sad, because obviously I want to sell you, a coin that you want to find, but I don't want to promise. That 8 shilling, I paid 33.50 for it, so I'm going to start for 39. AC 4987, the Hadrian. That one's a nice one. It's probably like a 279 coin, but I can pull it, and yeah, it's like a 279 coin, just as a heads up. So don't want you to be too too crazy surprised by that one. Let's first do the 1797 for 39 bucks. I could see this one bidding up a bit higher too. Try and make my $3 or so on it. Very nice. 1797. It's a little bit worn, but again, earlier German coin, very pleasing. That's funny, Horace. You almost want to keep it a little bit of a secret in terms of that you're collecting valuable stuff. Belgian, yeah, I think we're all out, unfortunately, on those crowns, the Hercules crowns. I got both of them a little too fast. Matter undermined. Sounds good. I'll try and go grab it. I'm first going to try this 177. We have some nice 5 francs that are Swiss. This is like a 279 30-second start. It's a fantastic example of a Hadrian denarius in NGC XF condition. Trajan Hadrianus Augustus. On this side, it's a vota publica PMTRP cos. So it's Tribuna Potesta, consul for the 3rd time. And let me try to get some of those the German Commem euros. I only have a couple of those. Probably start them for like 22, but there's some neat types there. Totally, no, I was a big fan of it. Sunset. And let's see, here's a 2011 France list. At 22 is where I'm able to break even. Maybe I paid a little too much for them. I think that the melt is kind of hot, and they do, you can spend it in circulation for 11 bucks. That's not the goal here, but this is going to be a France list type. That one will go to matter undermined. Undermined. Let's see. It says it's your first purchase. Let's see. I've got 2 other ones. 10 euro. Commem. Oops. I actually am going to do a call out here. Somehow this is saying that this is. Let me just confirm something. I may need to cancel that because I bought it as 92.5% silver, and there's a lot of 92.5% silver ones. I think I should cancel this one. Unfortunately, I paid the same amount for it, but some online it's saying that this is 62.5%, but that seems wrong. Let me just look this up, because there's tons of these that are definitely 92.5% silver, but then one source that I had said that this is specifically 62.5, which would be very shocking to me, but I really care about getting it right. Numista is saying 62.5%. But like there's tons of other ones that are not, like all the other ones are 92.5%. And so I'm thinking I need to cancel this because I had then misrepresented it. I definitely let's see, 10 euros. We're going to do a live look on Numista, which is a great site. Germany 2011, 10 euros. This is saying, no, it must be 62.5%. The issue is that I paid 92.5% money for it from somebody who must not have known, because the earlier ones are certainly like, I'm gonna cancel for it. Like this one is certainly 92.5%. Numista will confirm, but these ones unfortunately are 62.5. So I'm gonna cancel that one, and I'm gonna figure out what my liability is here, because I bought a bunch of them. Thankfully, I haven't sold any of that one. I'm so sorry, Matter Undermined. I'm going to rerun it, but I'm going to start it for a lower price. And so they were presented to me as certainly have the receipt in this example as 92.5 from somebody who I trust. I think it's like I bought a large group of German of this type, if that makes sense. And so I was like, oh, 44. I bought 44 of them. They were described to me as 92.5%. And I think like all of them were, except maybe this latter year, they might have decreased the silver percentage, probably because the silver price went up a bunch in that time. And so they took it down. But not everybody's going to be aware of that. So I'm really glad that that was caught. So I basically had, yeah, okay. Let's see, 072, 071. Nothing too crazy, but, well, a little bit crazy. I had misid'd some coins, and I take that one seriously. So this one is going to be back. I did pay in the 20s for this, but we'll start it for 15 bucks. And the melt value on there is going to be a little bit lower. I don't know. It could be that there's like more numismatic value, and maybe nobody's going to want this coin now. But let's see. The melt value on this is going to be 11 bucks 70 cents, and so it's a small premium over melt. But I guess that's what happens when you buy too many coins. I always like there to be some bidding activity, so we'll drop it even 2 bucks lower for this one. And then we'll do a true 92.5% commemorative next, and hope that I can make a little bit of the cash back from a minorly disastrous 62.5% adventure. Here's one that's the full. This is the University of Leipzig. $22 start will get me to lose a couple of cents here, but very pretty. We see, who is that? Theodore, and very interesting scenes here on this one. And yes, Cornbread, why don't we pull that denarius from the imperatorial? This is really Julius Caesar's time in the spotlight. Probably like an 89 start here. 48 BC. See Vibius. We have Pan on the front. A pretty nice portrait at that. A little bit more worn, but Vibius Panza Catronianus. Not the most common denarius there, but had it freshly inventoried just this morning. And so let's do a couple of these Japanese coins. Very nice 1958 Sakura cartouche type. And then we also have, we've got a good mix here. 100 yen. This is going to be a 60% silver coin. Early coin. We'll take a little loss there. Let's see if there's demand on a 1907 example. Yeah, no, those were definitely fantastic. Been trying to, go out and source great coins. It's kind of what I always try to do, but even more so recently. So care a lot about it. Could do some French Jetons as well. Decent Condors. I feel like most of the Condors I have are, well, let's do some like French Condor equivalents, which are these Jetons. This one's really nice. I want a 20 start for this one with no sudden death. Let me look what other Condors that I brought. It looks like there's only 2 that I brought, but I can find both of them immediately. Beautiful handshake Jeton here, 1664, Fiducia Spey Gal, referencing their Gallic heritage. What does that say around the edge. It talks about Tour the Maire de la Ville de Tours. Yeah, so it's Tours, France. Maybe of the mayor. An interesting, beautiful copper Jeton. Fantastic. And, not surprised to see these having some competition, people looking to bid for them. French colonial coins, kind of depends what you're referring to. What would be an example of a French colonial coin? Écu, I do have a fair number of écus that I'd be thrilled to run. I have some from the Saint-Thibault hoard. This one's a nice, looks like some kind of religious figure almost. Success to the woolen manufactory. Um, Devonshire and Exeter Condor token. That one will go to Gabe Daw. And then we have, last but not least, a dollar start silver Condor or shilling token. You can see this one certainly bidding up from Yorkshire and Sheffield. There are all the arrows, but let's try to go and find some of the écu or écu sized coins. We've got a Limoges mint, apparently, I think. Where is it? Like a 79 start écu. And then we have, again, hoard coins that were discovered in a treasure in 1981 from France, the Saint-Thibault hoard. I don't think I have so much of the French. Yeah. I don't have any of those prepped for us today. Not that I'm aware of, but I'll certainly be on the lookout going forward. And that one will be our last of the Condors for today. Actually, maybe there's this one, which is the wrong. We have a couple different like token type coins. This one is the wrong ID. It's actually it's not a half penny size. It's a manufactory token. Oh no, I did upload this. It's not technically a Condor, but like a Condor, but this is a Birmingham Lutwyche's manufactory Condor token. Engraver Provincial Coins and Metals was the engraver of this one. They show the die sync. That's actually super cool. Maybe you should have offered that for a touch more. That one's fantastic. Amen Resu. Is that cool coin that you have in your profile picture? It looks familiar. We'll do this écu after a little bit. I do have a couple of really nice Swiss types. 34 start, no sudden death, just beautiful uncirculated. 1944 Helvetia really reminds me again of those classic commems. No Civil War tokens, but I'm definitely looking to do a lot more with the US. I just feel like it's such a cool coin history. Like I've been a little too exclusively focused on the world, and so I'm really excited to, try and go out and find that kind of material. I think it would be really fun. This one I think is a touch less nice. I think a good bargain at offer for a little less, but also blazing uncirculated Helvetia, Battle of St. Jacob, and then let's do the écu after that. Time for some better French examples. I'm not shocked at all to have there be a bit more competition. Maybe we do have a couple. Do we have more of those? No, we might have a few others. Chaser. We'll do this 1773. They were gearing up probably to help us fight the Revolutionary War in France, but 1773, Limoges Mint. Have a good day at work. Ludovicus the 15th with some adjustment marks, as is pretty common on the écu. Fantastic large French silver crown, again from the 1700s. Just really don't see those quite as frequently. And then we do have a couple of I think two more of these Jacob on der Burg. And I'll start them for 32, maybe with a sudden death this time, 15 seconds. Always fantastic silver appeal on these ones. And then other types of tokens that we have. These were struck in the early 1900s. From my best research, they were imitation spades, gaming tokens of King George III, who would have reigned from 1760 to 1820. Imitation guineas. So kind of a fascinating mini type that often is a little more affordable. In the past, I've sold these for a little more than $2, but you never know where something, I guess, lands. This one here, maybe start it for $3 or so. That last one was a Saint Jacob an der Bur. These are imitation, like they're gaming tokens. Is what I'd bought them from Britain. So they're pretty interesting, and many little, a lot of exonumia, I guess, out there, and this is certainly no exception. So yeah, an old strike of his. And then maybe we can bring in one other. We do have some more, these are similar to, these are like the modern, but we have some Jetons, we have some Condors, we have a couple of metals, if that's exciting to people. We can do a last one of these for $1 start. Hopefully we'll get back up there. King George III retroactive strike then. What is WX3902? I'm not sure what that coin is going to be. Oh, it's a nice Jeton. That's awesome. We've got, I may hold that one. It's the Reddit Jeton. But we've got, let's see, a nice posthumous Faustina denarius that shows some sort of, altar or something like that. $55 start, no sudden death. And then there's a couple of other, let's see, we should have a couple more Jetons or nice, just like world silver coins. I think we'd be in order for some of those. But yeah, very nice Faustina senior posthumous. Pretty good eye appeal, I would say. Some kind of altar or resting spot. And then, let's see, 1752. Dated French. This is Tresor Royale with a nice fountain. 49 start. Very nice middle of his reign or so. Louis XV. Huit Aeternum que Ministrat Tresor Royale, 1752. Sunset, not right now. I think it's a nice coin. I would do it if there was no whatnot fees. It's a really good one. That one, but thank you for the offer. I don't want to seem like careless or dismissive or anything like that. I think just with that one, probably gonna hang on at this stage, but who knows? Maybe the market turns and I'll be crying that I didn't accept the offer. This is a really nice Felix de Louvies. You've got a reclining, I think, river god, but I don't want to promise something. Yeah, and let me. Such an appealing offer, Vault. AG coin. Nice win. Here we've got 1772. This one looks a little bit cleaned, just to call that out. I try to sell it straight, but the design is really fantastic. It's like also a cool portrait of Louis XV. You have a cannon and rifle view, which is just an interesting one that I think people will appreciate. Ad utrumque paratus extraordinaire de guerre. So guerre refers to war, and it doesn't shock me that that's the design here. Referencing all of that, but it looks like it's like French and Indian War would have happened. They're kind of gearing up, but I think is quite reminiscent of a lot of the battlefield, vibes, I guess, of the time. And that one will go to AG coin. What else do we have? Any more Jetons? I've got one more here. This one is, and I probably have some other ones in inventory, but this is like from this group, the last one that we brought, and I'm not going to increase the start price, but it's the Crown Princess of France, Maria Josepha of Saxony. So a little bit different. Plus, you have this fantastic like eagle's nest, Maison de Madame de la Dauphine. Really, really interesting. Um, Super cool type. And the Nerva, that's inexpensive. It's like probably 3.99 coin. I can show it if you want to check it out, but it's in nice enough condition where it's got a little bit of a premium there, and I don't want to beat around the bush and surprise you with it. This one is a 50 centimes of the series type, 1894. Very nice. Again, 19th century French silver coin. You can see the date's super clear and should bid up a good bit from that dollar start. But again, nice European silver, and that one will, I guess, limp to a $4 sale. Let's see. I'll try one other, but maybe this isn't the hot product that I think it might be. 1888. This one is in real solid shape. You can see the date extremely clearly here, and relatively good detail in the front there. It looks like that's going to be F.A. Udine. That struck it. AG coin. Scoop it at 5. Let's see. We also have an 1888 example. This one is a full franc. Probably start this one for $8 to target the break-even level. 1888 franc, again, somewhat not like super hard to find, but also not like all over the place, if that makes sense. And I think there's a couple different dates. They don't strike them in every year, so you'll see a bit of clustering around certain of the dates, if that makes sense. And maybe we'll do a couple more of these silver types. We've got 1872. And the French, the interesting thing is they would have had to recently fend off the usurpation of Louis, or not usurpation, but yeah, I mean, he kind of takes control of the French and tries to bring back the, Napoleonic style emperor rule in the 1800s, which would have caused obviously a ton of, whether you want to call it unrest or just uncertainty in society, was a big shift for the French after having had a less centralized control under even Louis Philippe. So we did actually bring one of the Napoleonic ones to offer after this, and trying to run through different dates, of course. But we've got, trying to think what else. Some interesting Spanish Netherlands. We've got some Russian. We haven't talked at all about the Russian 5 copex. And we can, why not dollar start this one? This is again, Napoleon. It's a bit more worn, 1868, 1 franc, but this is more French Empire. So you can see his regal portrait, and see Sprague's currently leading, but again, 1868 French, 1 franc. That one will go to see Sprague's. Now, next up, we could try, let's see, a couple of these. We have some British crown size material. We do have a couple of other, raw ancient Roman Empire, but let's try some of these. These are Jersey, which is a channel island in the English Channel. I think it's a bit closer to France, but 900th anniversary. And Louis, sure. Are you asking if I have any, or are you seeing one in my inventory that you want me to pull? Just want to confirm that request there. But nice Norman crown. LC is going to win that one. And we have a couple, this one has really bluish toning, I would say, that kind of stands out. Let's see, 20, edit that to be 28. Let's see. Why don't we do this for $1 start? Should get back up there, if not a touch higher. Again, very blue toning, though. This one has some, interesting shimmer. I was seeing if I have any. Well, let me just type in XVIII. Doesn't look like I do, but I can find some for next go round. And then it looks like I've got maybe one of the dash. Do I have 25 up or not as much? Doesn't look like I've got it, so I'm going to change this to be 25, and we'll offer this one in closing. And then, yeah, I mean, I've got any more Condor tokens? Not, I mean, I have some in my inventory, but I don't have them ready to go, unfortunately. So I'll be bringing some back for the next time. And Milty, congrats on that pickup. I also have some of the silver crowns. Obviously, we're going to be seeing a huge jump price-wise, but could be kind of interesting. This is going to be an earlier 10 cent, so I'm going to leave off the sudden death. It's 1875. It's the full like Meiji Dragon style example. I don't have a 21 Pilgrim. I wish I did. Those are awesome coins. Need to get more classic commems. Hasn't been something I've had as much of recently. But yeah, it sounds like, you know, those would be obviously awesome. Turn and burn. Nice win. Right here we have Japan 10 cent. We'll do the slabbed Hadrian. We'll do the 279. All right, let's run it. I wouldn't be shocked if other people jump in and also attack it. The last one of that type was from the same submission, bid into the 300s. So just that I don't think it's a crazy. You know, that's where I'm holding firm, and I'm trying to get back to where, you know, to what I think is, it's also, you know, convenient to be able to just sell it through Whatnot and not have to take the eBay photo and everything like that. So it's a little bit of an advantage there. So it works well, I think, for everybody. Let's run this one, 279. No sudden death. And it's got that great Vota Publica reverse, referencing being the consul for the third time. Gorgeous Hadrian SPQR. Would not be shocked if other people will jump in and this one gets competitive, but it also may just land. And congratulations to Sunset. Nice win. I think it's a great coin. Let's see. While we're on, well, what could we? I see that we have a couple of these 5 copex coins, chunky items. 27 start, no sudden death, or sudden death, I guess. Big 1771 example with nice eye appeal. We can run a couple of these. You know, we've got some nice types on that front. WX0205. And that one will go to LC. Congrats. We've got this one, also looks pretty nice. I could see a lot of these bidding up fairly substantially. 1764, it's nice that it's still in this good of shape, given that this would have circulated for a while, versus some of the later ones. It really just depends on your preference for eye appeal, I would say. But I think comparatively nice one, given the, you know, for being a little earlier on. That one will go to Tiffany. Then we have 17. I always try to bring a couple of different dates here. This one is 1769. Ekaterinburg, I think that's the main mint. And then let's see what else you might have. This one is a 27 start. You know, the conditions getting a little nicer, as you can tell, near our revolution date, 1775, but you can see that little step up in terms of how well the details coming through and everything like that. And so, you know, let's see, there's a really good 1778 one coming up soon. Eric, 1371, congratulations on that win. And then let's see, 27 start, again, not going to increase the start price, but, you know, starting to get some really, really nice looking items. Beautiful. 1778. And thanks, Eric, for getting that payment processed. Not be shocked to see this, you know, land a couple of other last minute bids. LC is going to win this, and they just seem to get nicer and nicer here. probably with less circulation. It's really what ends up happening. 1783, and at this stage we only have this and then two others left today. Super, super nice. Terry, congratulations. And then let's see, big time coin here, 27 start. Very good detail on this side. A little bit of a plancha flaw up top. Just trying to point everything out here, and then we'll do our 1792, and that'll be it for the 5 kopek detour, so to speak, which has been definitely a fun one. Small wood, and then let's see our last. There's also again a couple of Roman denarii that we could run. That could be fun. We also have some other like really nice like rubles and you know, other examples, but yeah, fantastic. Here, 1792. I have one Spanish coin which is from Rome, but I feel like a lot of the stuff that I have today is Roman. Yeah, a lot of Roman stuff, I would say. But there is a really nice ancient Spain Carthago Nova example that I could offer. That's a little bit off the beaten path if you're looking for it. Nice Faustina Senior denarius is a posthumous type with an interesting, like, almost looks like there's a bird in an altar or something like that. Not sure totally. It looks like a Aeter, which should mean, say, Eternitas on the reverse. And that's going to be a more expensive one. The other Carthago Nova one that I offered bid way high, but it's a Tiberius, and it has the 2 on the reverse. I think it's like Drusus. It even mentions Drusus. Maybe this is even more expensive, like an 89 start, 30 seconds. Very interesting. Spanish Philippines, I don't think I have. Skippy Fix It. Their references Drusus Caesar. And so very, very cool. Of the ruler Tiberius again, so very famous ruler there. My NGC stocks are running a little bit low. There's still a couple of coins, but let's try. Well, we could try this one. This is a very pleasing looking, bit nicer of a Providentia reverse. I don't think I have Japanese 1 yen Skippy Fix It. I'm sorry to disappoint here. I had some, but I think they're mostly sold at this stage. Very nice Gordian the Third. This one's, I think, in particularly nice eye appeal, which makes it nice. Has like a golden tone to it that I think is quite pleasing for, maybe a newer collector or something like that. Here we've got a 1604 Jeton in really nice shape, $19 start. Yeah, I think, I don't know about CC's. Let's see, Soviet. I might have some Soviet. Let me check. Looks like there could be a couple of them. 2332. These can be a little more pricey sometimes. Hopefully not crazy so. Let's see. This says César de Vendoze, Beaufort et d'Estampes. But quite nice. Great flower. That one will go to Michael Cornbread. And then let's see. This one here, we have a 1927 Soviet Union 15 kopeck, actually in quite good shape, which is pretty neat. So that would be the CCCP as was requested. It says it plainly and right on there. Back of cost at the moment, but we'll see where it ends up. And then let's see. This one would be a bit more. Oh no, that's not the right one. This one would be a little more expensive, probably like a 28 start with no sudden death. Soviet, a little bit clean, but very nice eye peel and a little tougher to find. Is those scratches? There might be some. Those look like scratches. I thought it was the design for a second. Is it? Skippy, do those scratches bother you? I can definitely refund it. I would want to refund it right now, though. I just want to call those out. Um, I don't get this stuff in too frequently, but I am seeing that there's some scratches on the coin that I thought were part of the design. They're in that field right there, and I would be more than happy to refund you. Um, they're obviously in the camera. Definitely a cool coin, but I just want to make sure from a buyer satisfaction. I could rerun it maybe at like 24. I would lose a little money at 24. How does that sound if I reran at 24? But like honestly, you could just like not take the coin. It's whatever you think. I don't have others of them, and it is a very clear CCCP coin. Cool. All right. Nice of you, but like I'm not going to be upset. I really try to. Obviously, as soon as I saw it, it wasn't like I tried to hide it. Be very not deceiving of people. Cool. All right, that works for me. We have a nice little 10 kreuzer coin here from Hungary, 10 krajar, so it's Austro-Hungary. Yeah, I can do the Catalonia Ardite for sure. Bill and 10 kreuzer coin. No clue, but definitely caught my attention, so we'll be able to run it in quick succession. 23, let's do a no sudden death, because I don't get these in all the time. Very low grade on the reverse, but you can see AR, clear Ardite, and a nice view of Philip IV from the Principality of Catalonia. Interesting for the kind of pirate era, so to speak. One for Eric. We can do, I guess, the other one probably at like a $6 start. Oh, oops. I thought that it had sold. Oh my gosh. So that one. All right. Well, we got the old one. We'll do this one for $6 start. No, we don't have any of those, unfortunately. We'll sudden death this. $6 start. This is the other one. This one has a little nicer reverse. You can see there's like almost like a square or a diamond. And then we sold all the other ones that we offered so far, but we have some of these rare types of continue to sell the Ahmad Shah Bahadur French Arcot rupees. No sudden death. Beautiful. These are French India again, which is a little bit tougher to find, as opposed to British India, which was a lot larger, much greater domain, and this was a small time period in the 1700s, and so maybe we'll keep that one for a time being. This one would be 1869 Bill and 10 kreuzer. This one is this time the Austrian version, and this one actually is in quite nice presentation shape. Very beautiful coin. Let's see. There are a couple of other nice looking Jetons here. Not a huge quantity, but we can try some. That one will go to CVen 2. Let's see. This one is going to be a 49 start. A State of Brittany. HID says State of Brittany, yeah, dated again to 1760. Jeton des États de Bretagne. No, there's some there. I think, offering some really solid examples. And so let me see. We've got a similar type from 1760, $49 start. Maybe we sudden death it. If people missed out on the first. And then we also have an earlier one with a different portrait. It's interesting how different engravers conceptualize them much differently. Hey, Jean-Marie. But that's going to go to Smallwood. And then last but not least, again, just interesting, different look here. 1758. French Jeton. A more like, I guess he's definitely just taking up more of the screen or whatever you would call it, but a little different presentation there. And then there's some other more medieval French coins that I could run. Starting with this one right here, Fraternité Commemorative, $19 start. This is the same series types that's on some of the earlier ones. It's very popular. These were circulating commemoratives. And this is right around the range that I've started them, though. Silver's gone up nicely. 90% silver. 1988. 10 franc, or 100 franc, excuse me. Congrats to Matter. Let's see what some of the other ones that I would have might look like. This one is a 19. This is 1602. This is a little bit more expensive just because it's more like that medieval phase, but no sudden death. Very clear, and I love how clear the date is. You can see it so clearly. 1602. Henry the Fourth did not rule for that long of a time until about 1610 or so. Beautiful, chunky French silver, and then let's go on a little hunt and see what we've got. Do we want to try some of the French crowns? Because that could be a direction that we go in. Or not necessarily French crowns, but just crown coins. There's also some like German world types. Did that run? It did run, but nobody bid on it, unfortunately. Here's a good-looking 1881 big coin. There are different metals. Yeah, different metals is what those are. This is a nice-looking 1881 2 francs, so a little smaller than the full 5 franc series type, which I wasn't able to get those in stock for today. But Mexican Empire don't have as much of, unfortunately. This is, a little more along the lines of what I've got. Mr. Birdie is going to grab that one. Let's see what a 141 is. It's a Napoleonic 1 franc coin. Started for 8. That's where the last one sold. French Empire. Again, this is Napoleon III, the nephew of the original Napoleon. It's a good ruling name if you're French and trying to take power. That's what he did. That one will be BF 3000. Then here we've got another small Mexican Empire. Yes, was that under Maximilian, or who would have been ruling that? Because I couldn't tell you off the top of my head. Maximilian. Okay, so I could tell you off the top of my head. Very pleased. But again, nice French silver. Maybe not for now. We've got a couple of Danish types that I'm assuming we could dollar start. Um, yeah, I'd be curious to try some of them. We'll start with this 2 skilling coin. Big Pappy's already got a bid on it. It's a nice example, 1810. A good view of King Frederick the Sixth. And curious where this one will bid to, where that pre-bid is at. Wow, that's awesome, Jose. Those can't be inexpensive coins. At least I'd be shocked if they were. We also have then a slightly larger, a 4 skilling Rigsbank token, though maybe in a little worse shape. Let's see where this one starts. This one will start at about $7, 1815. And let's see, we've also got the 50 cent has a mintage of 30. That's such a small, and you know a lot of those were lost. Big Pappy will win that one for 9. This one, similar, we'll keep it to 15 seconds just so that things can keep moving along. This one's very pleasing. You can see all the relevant lettering. 1 Rigsbank skilling, 1813. Frederikus the Sixth. And then we can go a little later as the denominations, sort of enlarge. This one would have been. Well, why don't we just do a dollar start to quickly see what would happen? This one's cool because you have the clear swords, RBS, Rigsbank skilling. Christianus the 8th. And then, let's see, we've got a couple of other cool ones. This is actually a 1/5 Rigsbank skilling, which is pretty fascinating. We do probably 20 seconds on this one just to give it a little more time. Canadian Better Date coin sounds good. Can you tell me what you would want to pay for it to start, and I'll let you know. That kind of makes sense. I heart. Really nice condition. I would not be shocked to see a couple. Which Arab coins are you looking for? I've got the French India Arcot rupee, which could be a good, fill into what you're describing. This one is going to be a $9 start. It's a 1 1/4. Actually, maybe I ran the wrong. No, it's the right one. It's a 1 1/4 skilling, not the 4 Rigsbank skilling, but it's 1 1/4 skilling, which might be a 4 Rigs. Oh, it is 4, but it's also on the shilling standard. It's a French India rupee of Arcot. So those have historically been popular on our end here. We sold 17 of them at start prices of 55. And so I would be happy to run one, but this one, dollar start here, a half Rigsbank skilling from 1760, approximately 62. It could be a slightly different date, but we must have seen 62 on there. That one will go to Richard Hunter. Congratulations. And then we've got, looks like an 1810 Rigsbank skilling. This one probably like an $8 start. We're getting close to, not entirely the end, but, a lot closer to the end. Here we've got an 1818 example, and nice one for Big Pappy. And then right here, let's do a. This one's worn. We'll just let it go for $1 and see where it lands. But it's a big coin. It's 1818, 2 Rigsbank skilling. Chunkier copper, and you can see all of the lettering very clearly, which is obviously quite nice. So fun to have that, fun to offer it. And then we've got a couple more nice, looks like Roman imperial types here. And for Bernard, we'll get the French India coin. Nice Gallienus. This one actually looks like pretty decent shape. Bill and Antonianus. Virtus, interesting. And then let's see, it looks like there's a lower grade Philip as Caesar. Philip the First, the Arab. Oh yeah, sounds good. We'll do Philip the Second. This one's like a 35. It's in pretty. It's it's pretty worn, so that's where a bit lower dollar start. But let me pull the Philip the Arab for us. I know that I have a couple of his examples. Where did it go? I think there we go. I found it. Awesome. AD 102303. There's still some German states. I don't think I sold much of it today, so there should still be a little bit in the inventory. What did I bring? This one's actually a bit nicer. So this is probably like a 45 start, somewhere in that range. Securitas. And let's see what else. That one looks like a pretty interesting type. It's a little unclear. What this is exactly, but the person that I sold it from, knowledgeable, says that's likely a contemporary counterfeit of a bill in solidus minted in Moldavia, which is quite interesting. So it's uncommon to see. It's like a very low value contemporary counterfeit of Gustavus Adolphus, but maybe a more crude style. And those are some metals. I can run a couple of them shortly. But yeah, interesting 1600s Moldavian contemporary counterfeit of Swedish Livonia. Why don't we pull a couple and we'll see. Some of them also may be cliches, but no, these are just classic, beautiful metals. White metal. International exhibition designed by Captain, it's like Falk, and a very nice world exposition, classic look of the United Kingdom. And some of these in the past metals have bid way, way high. I could do maybe one more here. This one's quite nice looking. Beautiful design and everything. This one's also international exhibition with the beautiful, as it says, west front view. Really shows that peak architectural achievement, you could say. And then let's see, maybe 92, 08, 07, I have one of those, which looks really beautiful. But there's a couple nice, quite nice metals, basically. AG coin. And this one I could see bidding up a fair amount. We'll start it for $1 and just let it rip. This is a large 1889 dated prize medal to crystal for a picture Mignon. I'm gonna start this for $1. I think it could bid quite high. It's huge, and yeah, I would be happy to show the Pope Gregory. That lead bulla, if I can find it. Where did it go? I may not be able to show it because I think I put it away maybe, and I now can't see it. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna take it down from the auction, and I'll try to go find it. There's only one of, I only have that one lead bulla left in my collection. Again, awarded by the Crystal Palace Company for a picture Mignon by T. Blake Wordman in 1889. Fascinating metal. Very large planchet. Beautiful coin. I do have a couple of papal themed medals though that I could offer. Maybe I'll pull those. Nice win for a Jeton. Let's see. Oh, actually, but then we do have these lead cliches. They're like, this is a Marcus Tullius Cicero. It's only on one side. So these are almost, I think they're like kind of test pieces for how to strike. Beautiful relief. They're lead, so I'm not going to touch them directly. I have in the past, obviously, when I was inventorying them, but they're really kind of fascinating medallic history. Again, beautiful relief. Quite interesting. And then, yeah.
There's like a value like mixed countries like Switzerland, Belgium, France, Spain, Latvia. Would that be under like?
Should be WX49.
I see Australia, French mix, nicer LMU, mixed grad value.
Yep. I would put it below, but then notate which ones you're using. Yeah, you could just start a new. I would put it under nicer LMU. That would be the one to go. Yeah. Thanks for asking. What's in the box? Oh yeah, this is a nice. I'd be happy to run it. It's a little more expensive. At one point, somebody said it was like some real rare, but it's it's some kind of a Gutenberg medal. Don't know much about it. W77. It's a big time coin. It says MXCXLI. I'm not sure if it's MMX. I'm not exactly sure what, but it references the Bible. I mean, we could just run it for $1. It's supposed. Somebody once said like, pull it. It's rare and valuable. I'm not sure what it should go for, but I think it could go for high. Yeah, it should be copper or some kind of bronze type. Looks like maybe it was struck in France. It says Aventure de l'Imprimière Néant. What is that? 1400. This thing is huge, and it's like the size of my hand almost, and just a really cool metal that I have not ever seen another example of. And you have the Bibles printed. That's funny. Anybody sitting on pennies would do well. And congratulations to Michael Cornbread there. Let's see. All right, what are some other coins that have stood out to people that I might not? Oh yeah, well we can do some of these papal metal types. Oh yeah, and I forgot the French India, the Arcot rupee. I'll run some of those next. That one, it's tough to. I've never seen another example. Maybe you will tomorrow, but it's a cool one for sure. This one's dated to 1878, probably struck after that, but some kind of a papal Pope Pius IX medal. Highly affordable. No Afsharid rupees. I don't think I brought any of those. This one's cool. This one's dated a little earlier to 1826. I think it's struck after that, but it does look a lot older. Some kind of a Pope Leo the 12th. So I guess we have Leo is back. Is it currently Leo the 13th or the 14th? I'm not sure. Nice win for JTV. Forgot to bring more of the cool, and this one's going to be, I think we do want to start these at 9. I forgot to bring some of those Polish-Lithuanian. They're always so cool. I should have done this with this no sudden death. Beautiful heart and barbs with a cross. So nice. That was a mistake. but I'll hopefully survive it. AG coin gonna land, I think, a good one. Let's see. Oh well, here's some. This one's a nice French coin. Like a 39 start on a nicer Philip the Bell denier. No sudden death. Beautiful. Roman Republic, let me find that one. I feel like I might have sold that already, I Heart Techno. Let me just look that coin up. Oh man, I think I did sell it. I'm sorry. I'll try to find if I have any other cool Roman Republican stuff for next time. We do have some cool. This is a very cool Satavahana ancient Indian coin. Satavahana Empire, low percentage silver. Elephant, 3rd century BC to 3rd century AD. But again, you can see that elephant super clear. I think I just took it down, but I'll check again. Interesting pattern on the reverse. So fascinating. And then I think somebody had asked about the Arcot coin. And here that is. Beautiful French India. Strike have sold 3 of these so far today, sold 17 of them last show. All starting at 55 or more. And then we've got, what could be, let's see, we've got a couple of neat Jetons. There's a couple of Russian types. We've got cool Spanish Netherlands examples. And then we have just like a nice mix of classic world silver. That's my sense for what we maybe do the next few. All right, we've got a beautiful Jeton to start here. Can't be French Indian rupee. What do you mean by that, Bernard? The next coin that I sell won't be French Indian rupee, but that definitely would have been British crown. Sounds good. I'll find some. This one's a nice. You can see like the little angel blowing in. Young head crowns I've not gotten in a while. It's a good observation. Have not been able to find any to source, but I do have some, I think, solid later crowns. Let me just see if I thought I brought some, at least some. Let's see if I just type in crown. Looks like there's one left, maybe. 92, 43, 03, and 04, maybe. 52 start. Nice St. George slaying the dragon. Maybe there's another. It looks like there could be. There's one other, but it's not coming up when I type in crown, so I may have to re-upload it. Oh, it's a double florin. That's what's going on with it. Congrats to Milty. This one's nice. Let's dollar start this one with 30 seconds. Because I bought it, Bernard, from the from like the leading authority on Indian coins, from my perspective. So it was the siege of Arcot in 1751 was under Shah Bahadur. That one's gonna go to Big Pappy. Would have been, happy to DM you about it, but I'm pretty positive on that one. Here we've got a Curacao, 1 golden. These are, especially that top one, is in really nice shape. Curacao, 1944. I think that this would have been struck in the Philadelphia Mint. Oh, JTV, nice win. Then we have a nice 1963 Swiss franc. India or Pakistan? Emma Meal, would you like to see? I had tried a Satavahana coin. I'm trying to buy more ancient Indian stuff. That's been something I've been focused on. So we have some great stuff coming in. Parthia, I don't have at the moment. I'm gonna try to buy some more if I can find some, but I don't have any available for the time being. Canada, I do have 1 cool Canadian coin. We'll do a couple more great Swiss 1 franc coins though in the meantime. 1944, even World War II era. But I have a cool Canadian one. Let me just look up on eBay what you can buy them for. Okay, sounds good. I will look for it. Let's see. You can get us a dime. Let's see. This one is going to be the lowest. You can see a proof like 65. So I have a cool Canadian one that's a tougher date. I would run it for. I graded at PCGist. I would run it for like $45 or so. And it is, let's see, 1954 dime Canada mintage. JTV leading. It's sub 5 million mintage, so it's a tougher. There's less of them minted, certainly than some of the other ones. We also have some cool Swiss stuff. You have the 54? Okay, no problem. Here we can do a dollar start on a nice 5 francs from 1965, nice silver. Yeah, 54 is always a little tougher to scope out. This one is in really nice shape as well. Let me see, 1966 Swiss 5 franc. I mean, melt on these, basically selling them for melt at 16. Melt on them is 14.65. See a little bit of numismatic premium. These have always been quite popular. And then we do have one of the 2 franc coins. Still pretty large, 1941 World War era. It's always interesting. And then I'm trying to think, we do have some of the nicer Swiss Commem types that can be a little bit more challenging to source in my experience. So those would be like 34 starts. We sold the first 2 that I offered at 34 today, and we'll sudden death, but we'll see if they bid up higher. Nice Swiss Helvetia Commemorative with some nice toning. Reminds me of a lot of I always say this, but classic Commemorative halves. Just fantastic struck and burn luster and detail. And then we have some other, let's see, WW98. Let me just confirm that this isn't a more expensive, or like how much this is going to cost. 10 golden. Melt on this is a little over $21, so I'll start it for, let's say, 20 2. I'll lose a little bit compared to melt if it sells at the start price. And it has both Queen Juliana and Queen Wilhelmina on there. I could run that St. Jacob. I don't think it's sold, but I think I have 2 more of them that I could offer. Do you want me to try it again? This one is a German need as a gift. All right, well, I'll snag one. I'll just rerun that one. JTV, Vault and Valor. Here we've got a 34 start, no sudden death. Yeah, sure. Be happy to find it. 93, 12. Oh shoot, there is another. Vault, which one? You want me to do a givey on this one here? Is that what you're saying? I didn't catch it, and I want to make sure I honor your request, but I didn't quite see in my distraction. All right, that's very nice of you. Everybody, go follow Vault and Valor as well. I know he's got a great eBay. But let me just see what that one was, and we'll make sure that it's given away. Very kind of you. Giveaway. We'll do coins and money. I have not done a giveaway in a decent while, so that's very nice of you. We will do WW98071 GAO giveaway, and then normal coin. We'll do it is a non-US currency, followers only, and then time to give that coin away. Thank you to Vault and Valor. We will start the giveaway, and again, thank Vault. Very nice of him. Thank you so much. Be sure to subscribe and follow him so that you don't miss out. We can do a couple of other great German commemoratives. This one will start it for just under that price. We'll start it for $12. Nice metals and Jetons. Yeah, I think there should be some of both. Let me check out the Jeton situation. Thank you so much, Ritz. We really try to get a bunch of fantastic variety all over the world. That one will go to Brandon Farr. Yeah, awesome. Let me type in Jeton here, and we'll see what we've got. It looks like there's only 4 left. I think we've sold the silver ones, but we have nice bronzes. This one is interesting. It's almost painted or a little bit something like that, but a Temple Posse 1679, dated King Louis the 14th. 3 women with olive branches there on that reverse. There's also a nice wind blowers Jeton that I will offer shortly. Nice one for Nemesis right here. There are those wind blowers on either end. Nice on this one side. There's the wind blowers, again, going on either side with the fleur-de-lis in the center there. And we have a couple of, there's a Belgian metal that we'll try after some of our slightly more pricey. They're like 39 start better Spanish. This is not Spanish. This is just a regular Dutch Jeton, but from 1600 Moritz at Newport. And somebody gave us a community. Whoa, that's way too generous of you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And we've got, welcoming lots of people. Only 31 entries in the giveaway. Make sure, guys, to sign up and get a good crack at that coin. And then we can also potentially run this Belgian Leopold This is. Did I not upload this one properly? Maybe I didn't. That's going to be disappointing if I forgot. Oh yeah, no, we do have it. I just didn't put in that it's Leopold, but it's like sometime in the 1800s. Doesn't have a specific date on there. The Botanical Society of Bruges has some great toning. And welcome to Swicky. Welcome to a bunch of other new joiners. Make sure to enter the giveaway there. Société Provinciale d'Horticulture in Bruges, Belgium. Leopold II. Again, nice silver medal from the 1800s. A couple of no bids means we've got to then revert to some dollar starts. This is a nice, I think it's Feodor in this example. I'm not sure if PCGS would, Jason. It's a good question. It might cost a good bit relative to, the price of the coin. I'm not sure. BF. And this one here is going to be also a dollar start. 1584 to 1598. And we've got 56 seconds left on that giveaway. This is the last of these little wires for today. Then we have a nice earlier 1749 copper danga, which will be pretty interesting, from Elizabeth Petrovna. This one, a little bit nicer. We're not going to do, increase how much time it is. It's a dollar start, risky play on my end, but nice 1749. The last few, I showed all the last Jetons. Maybe there was one that I didn't show. I can do the other one from 1600s. Beautiful coin. That one will land with M. Emile. And then let's see. Right here we have 1600 Jeton from the Netherlands in Dordrecht. Oh, that one's cool. It has like a battalion. It shows the fortification in their military structure. I'm almost positive that's like a fortified city there. Got a giveaway winner, by the way. Really cool, obverse and design. Sunday night is going to win the giveaway. And there's the last of those Jetons. Let's see if we only had a couple more minutes of running this show. We've got a limited number. We have a couple of, I think these might be shooting medals. This is a Zurich shooting medal. Try this for about 13 bucks. So that is fantastic. These are always interesting. I think I've only got two shooting medals or so left today. JTV. We'll pick that one up. We've got this one right here. 13 bucks start. Yeah, very, very nice of Vault and Valor. Glad Sunday night is going to land it. Have a good one, Prater, Shane. This one's a St. Gallen example. And then we've got, if you have any others, not too many. Maybe one other of the shooting examples. But it talks about the Schützenfest there. This is a Hungarian 4 Krajar chunkier coin. We'll do a dollar start. Big copper. 4 Kreuzers, 1868. Minted in Kremnica, Slovakia. And then we do have one more, and it shows at a federal shooting competition, souvenir medal. This is going to be the next coin here. That one will go. The Prussian Thaler, sure, which one? I'll tell you what I paid for it and then try to make a couple of bucks on it. 13, these have been bidding up pretty nicely. This one's dated to 1898. Souvenir du Tir Fédéral de Neuchâtel. And then you can see the honneur au plus à droite. 1842, Prussian Thaler. Sounds good. Let me find it. 1842, Reichsthaler. let's see, 1842. Some of the Danish Rigsbank skillings in there. That one I paid 63 bucks and 30 cents for. The tricky thing is, so I'm just going to be again transparent, challenging to replace because at that stage that I bought it much lower, no tariff, and much lower exchange rate. So that unwinding has been pretty costly. So I'd want to get 79 bucks on this one, so I can make about $10. We'll see if it lands, and no worries if it doesn't. And again, today with tariffs and the currency difference, I'd be underwater on it. So I think it's a fair price. I think it's a good one. I just try to, toe that line of making sure that's affordable, and then protecting my end. Congratulations and nice win. And let me just see what else I may have. Let's see. Yeah. Any last? Not that I'm done. I've still got a good little ways on the show, but I want to make sure that it's not so far off. Maybe from wrapping. Let's see. 18. Oh, so this one's a nice Death of Carl Zeiss, $15 start at 62.5%. German silver, very flashy. Commemorative coin. I don't think that this is proof, though, actually. I think that it might be. Actually, no, maybe it is proof. It does kind of look proofy, but I'm not totally sure. I think it's proof. Pretty reflective. That one will go to BF. Let's see. Then we have proof like. That maybe is a better descriptor there. Good call out. And then we've got this one here. Very nice unk looking, couple green deposits, but Munich 1972 Olympics. Excited for the LA Olympics to be, back in America. And then I have a couple of really interesting other types that I had not offered so far today that I want to call out here. We've got a couple of these 1899 5 copex, bit cleaned here, but 29 start, no sudden death. 50 copex. So nice Emperor Nicholas, Tsarist Russia from the 19th century. You see the, pretty decent shape and a nice coin for sure. No older Chinese coins. I'd love to get some of those in, but I actually don't have any, unfortunately. This one's a little tougher shape, so I'd say about 27 feels right. I don't know exactly why it happens. Yeah, this one looks less cleaned and just quite worn, but the nice thing is that you can really see all this Cyrillic lettering. Great blast from the past on the Russian front. That's funny. That is, I'm going to be folding some laundry after I get off of this show. I normally take the folding. Here we've got 29 start. Big Pappy does have a pre-bid. This one actually looks pretty nice. Very good shape. A lot better than the last one, so I could see this one continuing to bid higher without a doubt. We've also got a couple of older date examples. But Big Pappy in the lead on that one will land it, and then this one looks pretty nice too. 29 start. And we do have a full ruble. This one's 1897, so different date, and again, condition is a little nicer on this one. I wonder what these are offered for. Bavaria 2 marks? I don't think so. Can you tell me what the skew is on that? And then, Here's an 1897. Probably start this one for something like 1896, maybe. Well, why not dollar start it and just see where it runs? I got a pre-bid, but it's a full ruble in pretty decent shape. Probably a little bit of cleaning, but it's a full ruble, 1896, Russian, Tsarist Russia. You know, would think that this one would jump a fair bit higher. You know, don't see these too frequently, but again, full ruble, Russian, large size, 1800s silver coin. And you know, obviously would have been taken down by the Bolsheviks in the World War era. SP Crack's gonna jump in with a bid, and we'll see where this one gets to. Fascinating coin. Again, larger, older, and not one that I am able to get in too frequently. Got a small group of them, so was pleased about that. I've got one other. This one would probably be something like a $40 start, 20 seconds. We'll sudden death it, and this one has a little scratch on the front. It's kind of minor, but I always try to point things out. That's the other one that I brought. Also have some Panamanian Balboas that we'll probably try next. It's a good day to be picking up nice world silver. 06 2703. Let me let me grab those. I think it looks like Otto is on there. I've got this first, but then we'll do the your request. No sudden death. We've got Otto. Beautiful silver Balboa. The autos I break even at like 25, so that's probably where I'll be on those, just as a heads up. Nice win for Mustang. Here we've got a 1902 2 mark. It's a good bit of premium above silver, but also a pretty nice looking coin. And this is prior to World War I. They would have been striking lots of different coins at each of the German states. So probably going to wrap in the next, I would say, 5-6 minutes, or approximately somewhere in that range. Just as a heads up to everybody, we've got 25 here. This one's the earlier date, 1901. Maybe a touch, it's a nice looking coin. And we have a bunch of different dates, it looks like, on these German types. So that was the collection that I bought them out of. It seemed like a collection that had one of each of the dates. So depending on what you're looking to pick up, could be perfect. Yeah, of course. We'll run through the offering here. 1906 D mint mark. I think almost all these would have been D mint mark, given that they're in Bavaria. Mustang is going to bid on that one. So we've got 06, and then again we'll wrap with the 05 and the 04. And then trying to think of other. JM loves to shop. Wonky the Barbie, or Wani the Barbie. That one's a nice one, 1905. Couple of hairlines on it. Oh yeah, sorry about that, BF. Totally. I'm gonna do that one right after I do this last Bavarian 2 mark. WW9313, or excuse me, 1213. This one actually looks pretty nice. And 1213 Bonaparte It's actually this is a 1 centesimo, not a this is a 1 centesimo, not a 3 centesimi. Just to call this one out, if that ends up changing your bid on it, and you know it's part of the pre-bid, we can cancel it. But these have historically been pretty popular. Again, not worried if we have to cancel because of my misattribution. Um, but this is in the time in which Napoleon, as king, is as French emperor, gets control over Italy as well, and so he strikes Italian Napoleonic coins, which very interesting point in history. Um, and again, have eclipsed this level in the past, but we'll see. It says Napoleone Imperatore e Re, so it's in Italian. That one will go to BF. Again, BF, let me know now if you want it. I'm not going to be upset. Can reverse that transaction given the miss ID and pre-bid. 1822, 3 centesimi of Lombardy and Venetia is going to be the next one that we offer. Nice little coin, and then trying to think what else we can try. There's a couple of nice Roman ancients that I have yet to include in today's sale. We've got a nice zoo type Gallienus Antoninianus. It looks like some sort of a stag. A 19 start, but he was well known for having the animals, which are pretty popular. It's like, yeah, again, some kind of stag or deer with a very nice, high eye appeal, very good detail in his beard. Mid 200s basically would have been the time period in which this coin was struck. And then let's see, we've got a Tetricus. Hey, Jam. Tetricus Antoninianus, about a $12 start, 271 to 274 in the Romano-Gallic Empire. I think this oven is preheated, just so you know. Very, very appealing level of detail there. D. Flugel is going to start in on it. And then let's see. We'll do, let me know what. Oh, this one's actually pretty good eye appeal. 14 at least start on this Tetricus. Interesting planchip, but such a sharp strike. Really beautiful. Beautiful coin. And then let's see. We've got a couple more of these, Panamanian Balboa types. But then we may close things out here. And Alex, I would be cautious in terms of, given that you'll have to, I guess you can take them back, but we'll print them out. Maybe you end up doing the flipping at yours if that works.
Okay.
Because I think I'm going to end this show pretty soon, and then I may film some videos while you get a jump on packing if that works. Yeah. It's like 200 coin. Auction should actually be pretty quick to ship. Here's a British Indian rupee from 1840. Bit cleaned, but East India Company, pretty popular. WX 3305. That would be like a 84 start, just as a heads up. Nice one for BF 3000, and then WX 3305, 84 start. No issue if you don't have it. I would say it's probably lightly cleaned. When I look at it, there's not like super clear hairlines or anything. But I just think it has that look. But a nice variance taller of Wilhelm, an earlier type, 731105. It's a good cliche. I'm gonna start it for 34. 731105. Let's see that one. Yeah, it's a cool type 34 start. It is lead, so I'm not going to take it out necessarily, but you can see the Cecedit et Flos, and it's dated to, let's see, the 8th of June, 1795 or so. Really interesting. And so let's see, is that, oh, we have a Leopold. This is normally popular crown size, but earlier crown size. A silver medal that I showed earlier, but Leopold the First, always interesting. We've got a couple of Livonian coins, which I haven't tried today, that we could jump over to. Nice one from Milty. The Livonian ones are pretty nice, obviously, but you know, I paid in the high 20s. These are probably like a 34 start or so, under Wennemar von Brugenei from the late 1300s. 39 start for a silver medal. Oh yeah, I remember that one. Let me snag it. WW the 93 1408 is, I think, the one that I was referring to. But yeah, beautiful 1300s Livonian order. And then we can do this Bruges silver medal. 39 start. Nice toning silver medal of Leopold. Classic coin. I think of some other. We do have some other large silver on the world front that I think would be pretty cool. This is hold, but it's a Kingdom of the Two Sicilies. We'll go for break even. 1853 crown size, 120 grana. Under King Ferdinand, mid 1800s coin. Pretty neat. C. Sprague's will jump in. Got a couple of French silvers too in the mix that I'll be, you know, trying to pull up shortly for us. Let's see, $14 start. 1881. And then we've also got an 1870. This is 1870, so a little tougher to find. 1870, 2 francs, and then see faint, but I think that would have been one of the earliest years of the series type, for the 2 franc after Napoleon is taken down. And I'm trying to think if there's any other clear ones that I, you know, want to give it a shot with. We could go. You know, I think that might be it for our auction today. Have sold the vast majority of the coins that we brought here. Actually, there's a couple cool. Well, yeah, I mean, we could try some of these more expensive silver denarii. 123 BC is probably like a 79 start, no sudden death. Under Fannius with a banker's mark. And try and think. Let me know if there's any other closing requests. Dollar start on this likely contemporary counterfeit Gustavus Adolphus imitation. Swedish Livonian shilling, likely by the Moldavians, which is a pretty interesting confluence of people that would have struck this. It'll be a nice one. I paid, mid-single digits for it, so that's a good one. But yeah, really appreciate it. I'm gonna try to get. It's not on the calendar yet. I may try to do a quick sale sometime, next weekend, like on Friday or like maybe an early Saturday show. Cilician coin, sure. Can try to offer that one. 29 bucks, and then maybe close this one out. But I'll try to have some more cool coins for us next week. Any other Romans private collection? We do have a couple of nice Roman coins. We've got some Gordian double denarii. The big franc, nice win. There was a the 1602 coin. We can try this XF Gordian at 99 bucks. I think it's a solid place for it. If you want a nicer, graded Roman imperial. This is kind of classic Roman silver to own. Very high eye appeal, I would say. It talks about Gordianus Pius Fil Felicitas, fortunate Augustus as ruler. PMTR, the tribunal potesta, good detail, headed to Brandon. And then let's see, the chunky franc is, I think what you're asking about would be this coin, the $69 start quarter écu, with a big, nice fleur-de-lis. You can see the 1602 date super clearly. And then coin hoard eroder. We've also got some, speaking of a French group, of the Saint-Thibault hoard. Could be a last one to offer here. This one would have been a 49 start, 1732. Nice French item. So again, has been a really fun show today. Gonna prep so I can pack it all up and get it to you guys. And we'll look forward to a show at some point next weekend. Let me know if there's any requests for overall coin types that you might have missed or you particularly enjoyed. I'll be I'm gonna basically put this show away here, reorder a couple of coins that didn't sell, so that they're available either just to go back in my inventory or may keep them and get them ready to be reoffered in the future. Often that happens where something doesn't sell for a little while, but I'll keep it available for people, and then people will end up requesting it the next show. So I'll try to have some more denarii of similar types, and should be an overall blast. A lot of good types, and prepare. So again, I think sold a good portion of the coins that we brought today. I guess there are a couple of them that are unsold. I used to basically dollar start everything. These days, I sell enough coins and where if I did that, I'd be selling too many for some brutal losses. So I do end up holding on to a bit more these days, I would say, than maybe I would have in the past. I don't think at any crazy level, but
That definitely is something that I've noticed. And yeah, I mean, have a fantastic week. I may be on. It might also Alex might do the show. I'm not exactly positive. So that's also something to look out for. But in any case, will be very fun, and I'll see you guys soon. We'll find somebody fun to raid, and get this packed up. Thanks again, Vault, for the boost.